Welcome to a platform designed to share moving narratives, profound insights, and extraordinary experiences. This is a space where we can immerse ourselves in stories, reflect on their meanings, and draw lessons that resonate with our lives. Today, I invite you to listen to an intriguing tale about Sarah, a young woman whose journey takes an unexpected and challenging turn. Let us unravel her story, one chapter at a time. Hello, everyone. My name is Sarah. I'm 20 years old and currently in my second year at a university in Washington State. The story I want to share is one that has deeply impacted me and shaped my perspective. I hope my classmates and others can learn from it as well. A little over a year ago, I decided to take up part-time work to help support my family, gain practical experience, and supplement my student budget. I joined several social media groups in search of opportunities and found myself gravitating toward tutoring since literature was my forte. Soon enough, I received a message from a man seeking a tutor for his son. The offer seemed ideal, and I quickly arranged a meeting to discuss the details. The man suggested a trial lesson at his home over the weekend. His house, conveniently located close to mine, was spacious, neat, and welcoming. When I arrived, he explained that his son, a middle school student, struggled with literature and needed someone patient and skilled to guide him. Although the boy was initially disengaged and often seemed distracted during our lessons, he was not openly resistant. I tried various methods to spark his interest, such as storytelling and interactive games. Over time, he became more cooperative, and our sessions gradually became productive and enjoyable. The boy's father, David, showed genuine appreciation for my efforts. During our lessons, he would occasionally check in, asking if I needed a break or offering refreshments. If I stayed late, he made sure I felt comfortable, encouraging me to help myself to food in the kitchen. His small gestures of kindness created a supportive environment and motivated me to excel in my role as a tutor. David often shared glimpses of his life during casual conversations. He revealed that he was a single father, managing a demanding job while raising his son alone. His candidness about his struggles painted a picture of a responsible, devoted man. As time went on, I came to respect him deeply, seeing him as more than just my employer. One evening, after a late session, he returned home visibly exhausted. He had been working long hours and appeared unwell. Concerned, I helped him to his room, offering him water and ensuring he could rest. In that moment, he expressed gratitude for my care and confessed how difficult life had been for him. His vulnerability struck a chord with me, and I began to see him in a different light. Our relationship evolved as we spent more time together. He appreciated my work and even compensated me generously, often providing more than I expected. He encouraged me to focus on my education and assured me of his support. These moments deepened my admiration for him, and I found myself hoping for a future where we could build something meaningful together. However, life has a way of taking unexpected turns. One evening, as I was finishing a lesson with his son, the doorbell rang. The boy ran to open it, exclaiming, "Mom." To my shock, a woman entered the house. Her demeanor was stern, and her gaze immediately fixed on me. "Are you the tutor?" she asked, her voice sharp. I nodded, feeling a wave of unease. "Yes, I am," I replied hesitantly. Her expression hardened as she continued, "I know about you and my husband. Let me be clear, we are not divorced. I suggest you focus on your studies and avoid interfering in other people's lives." Her words were like a jolt. I tried to explain, stammering that I had no idea he was married. But she cut me off, saying, "He's used this story before. You're not the first. I don't blame you, but I advise you to step away before you get hurt further." Her revelation left me speechless. All the trust and respect I had built for David crumbled in an instant. She insisted I leave and assured me that I would be compensated for my work, but she firmly stated that my tutoring services were no longer needed. In that moment, I felt a mix of betrayal, shame, and heartbreak. Reflecting on the events, I realized how easily I had been misled by his charm and the narrative he had crafted. This experience taught me a harsh but valuable lesson about trust, boundaries, and self-awareness. Sarah's story is a reminder that life often challenges us in ways we least expect. It's through these trials that we learn resilience and grow stronger. Her journey, though painful, is a testament to the importance of integrity, caution, and the courage to move forward. Saying, "I'll pay you enough for this month's salary, but you don't have to come to this house anymore." If you persist in dragging things out, don't blame me for making a huge issue about it. I quietly lowered my head, tears welling up in my eyes. I left the house, my heart heavy with uncertainty and sadness. Questions swirled in my mind, so I decided to call him immediately. The phone rang, and he answered. My voice trembled as I tried to suppress my tears. "James, your wife came back. She said I was a mistress who ruined your family. You know I'm not that kind of person. Say something." But his response was cold. "I know. Wait for me to return," he said and hung up. Less than 10 minutes later, he arrived. I clung to hope, expecting him to stand up for me, to explain. But the reality hit me hard. Instead of protecting me, he turned to his wife and said, "I'm sorry. I was wrong. Can we work things out?" I stood there, completely shattered. The man I had trusted and loved turned his back on me without explanation, leaving me alone to deal with the storm he had created. I ran out of the house, tears streaming down my face. My heart was heavy with anguish and shame as I drove home. Not only had I lost my trust in him, but I also felt tainted, believing I was now seen as a horrible person by others. I had been blindsided by his lies. When I got home, I broke down completely. It felt like my entire world had collapsed. My faith in humanity, my hope, and my compassion for him were gone. The grief of being deceived was overwhelming, but the shame of unknowingly becoming the other woman was even worse. I confided in my best friend, seeking solace. She listened and then said, "Sophia, I've heard of this guy. You've been played. He's done this to others too." My acquaintance had a similar experience. He told her he was divorced while still living with his wife. I've even heard rumors that he caused someone to get pregnant and then pressured them into an abortion. Her words left me stunned. It became clear that I was just another victim of his deceit. His charming demeanor and considerate gestures had been calculated to lure me into his trap. My friend added, "You're lucky you didn't get pregnant. Consider this a harsh lesson. Focus on your studies and don't let this drag you down." Her advice, though blunt, snapped me out of my haze. I realized I had been naive, too trusting, and too caught up in a fantasy. I placed my faith in someone I barely knew, drawn in by sweet promises and fabricated concern. Reflecting on my actions, I saw how my own inexperience had made me vulnerable. I spent the rest of the day crying, mourning the betrayal and my misplaced trust. I questioned why I had ignored the signs, why I hadn't been more cautious. But wallowing in regret wouldn't change the past. Instead, I resolved to learn from the experience. I chose to share my story online, specifically in forums for tutors and students. I detailed how he had contacted me, the lies he told about his marital status, and how he manipulated my emotions. By sharing the truth, I hoped to prevent others from falling into the same trap. My story was a cautionary tale, urging others to be vigilant in their personal and professional lives. This experience taught me valuable lessons. First, work is work and love is love. The two should never mix, especially when you barely know the other person. No matter how trustworthy someone appears or how kind their words are, it's crucial to maintain boundaries and keep your distance. Second, trust should never be given lightly. Observe actions, not just words. Investigate and verify before placing your faith in someone. The truth often lies beneath the surface, and vigilance is key to avoiding mistakes. Finally, I learned the importance of independence. Relying on others, especially financially, can leave you vulnerable. True strength comes from self-reliance. What you build for yourself is far more secure and meaningful than anything handed to you. After this ordeal, I committed to changing myself. I threw myself into my studies and work, determined to shape my future through my own efforts. I began to respect and value myself more, vowing never to repeat the same mistakes. Strength and independence became my guiding principles, helping me navigate life's challenges without relying on others. To young women everywhere, I share this message. Don't let kind words or material gifts cloud your judgment. Your independence and self-worth are priceless. What you earn through your own efforts is far more sustainable and valuable than anything given freely. Stay alert, appreciate yourself, and never allow someone to take advantage of your youth or vulnerability. Life is full of both good and bad people. Your ability to protect yourself will determine how well you endure hardships. Live strong, live free, and don't let anyone harm you again. Thank you for listening to Sarah's story. I hope this narrative inspires you to value and defend yourself. Mistakes are painful but can teach us vital lessons, helping us grow stronger. Sarah chose to rise after falling, sharing her experience to help others be cautious and aware. If you found this story meaningful, please show your support by liking it. Follow the channel for more compelling and emotional stories. Each like and follow motivates Sarah to continue sharing her journey. Today's narrative concludes here. Goodbye, everyone. Wishing you happiness, strength, and a purposeful life.